Happy spring, everyone, and welcome to the next to last episode of Not Your Mother's Goose, your podcast home for fairy tale fun. I'm Topher Goggin, and we haven't reached the end of the road yet, but we're getting close enough to see it. April 25th is the magic date, our big grand finale where I empty out the trunk of everything we've written but have been saving for the last hurrah. That's next, but not today. For today is something else very special. Our friend Andrew Mitchell is back, and it's time for our third Rapunzel's Jukebox Behind the Music episode. We're going to talk to Andrew about all of the parody songs we've done in the last year on the show. Now, you'll get to hear all of them today, but also remember you can check out these tunes and more on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@NotYourMothersGoose. Be sure to stay tuned all the way to the end, as in addition to inside info about the songs we've already released, Andrew has a brand new creation ready to debut today. All of that's coming up, which means there's no reason to wait. I do apologize, we had a couple of microphone issues that persisted along the way, but they're pretty minor, and Andrew's tunes sound as great as ever. Here we go, part 3 of Behind the Music on Not Your Mother's Goose. And here we are back again with the man himself, Andrew Mitchell. We got a lot to get through today, but Andrew, it's good to see you. Tell me what is new out on the East Coast.
Hey, Topher, great to be with you. Had a great year doing a whole bunch of new songs. I'm so happy to see it coming out on YouTube.
Yeah, well, we're already there, but I think that's the big announcement. Though the show is wrapping up, we're going to keep going because we got a list of songs written and more probably to come. As long as you're willing to keep singing, I'll keep writing.
Oh, yeah. Having a great time, and I look forward to keeping it rolling.
Very good. Well, like I said, we've got a lot of songs to cover. So many that I made a list and I forgot one that we had even done before. But let's start right at the top with Hey Mary's Lamb, the Carrie Ann parody from the Hollies. This is one of actually back-to-back songs in terms of what we're going to play. Inspired in my Walgreens parking lot. I've joked about this on the show before, that if I'm ever short on song ideas, apparently I just need to go to Walgreens. But how was this one for you? Because that is not the easiest set of voices to replicate.
Yeah, definitely keep going to Walgreens because it's working out for you. That song was daunting because it had more harmonies than any of the songs that we've done before. I mean, maybe the Beach Boys one was close. Definitely a challenge to pull that all together. Additionally, I think we learned pretty early on that Mary's Lamb easily turns into Mary Slam if you're not careful about how you're singing it.
Yeah, you can't just slur right through that one, I suppose. If you don't like these harmonies, good luck, because as you know, in that list on the to-do list is Teach Your Children by Crosby, Stills, and Nash. If you can figure out a way to pull that off in the future, I will be so impressed. So good luck.
Thanks, Topher. I'm going to need it.
Let's try round one, though. Here it is. We'll start this off with Hey Mary's Lamb from the Hollies on Rapunzel's Jukebox.
Hey Mary's Lamb, hey Mary's Lamb, followed me to school, that's what your song says. Your fleece was white as snow, went everywhere I go, made the other children laugh and play too. Hear something bleating, at least not mooing. Hey Mary's Lamb, what's your aim? Why'd you follow her that day? Hey Mary's Lamb, what's your aim? Why'd you follow her that day? Lambs inside a school, well, that's not legal. I got in trouble, you got booted. Don't get confused with Baba Black Sheep. If you get lost, I'll send in Bo Peep. Hey Mary's Lamb, what's your aim? Why'd you follow her that day? Hey Mary's Lamb, what's your aim? Why'd you follow her that day? Like snow, snow, it's so white it's your fleece. It's just so white it's your fleece. Snow, snow, it's so white it's your fleece. just so white it's your fleece. Hey, Mary's lamb, what's your aim? Why'd you follow her that day? Hey, Mary's lamb, what's your aim? Why'd you follow her that day? Kids who see a lamb don't do much learning. They've all got questions. Pity the teacher. Why do you love Mary? She loves you too. You don't see that love from little boy blue. Hey, Mary's lamb, what's your aim? Why'd you follow her that day? Hey, Mary's lamb, what's your aim? Why'd you follow her that day? Mary's lamb, Mary's lamb, Mary's lamb.
Hey Mary's Lamb, Andrew Mitchell's first of many offerings on this Behind the Music special on Not Your Mother's Goose. We move on from that to our second Walgreens song. And I've talked about this on the show. Sometimes these songs come about just because I think of one line. Well, then you better figure out the rest of the song to make it work. And that's what happened here. Walking in Memphis, the, tell me, are you a Christian child line came on. And that somehow in my head got twisted around and tell me, are you my grandma now? Ma'am, I am tonight. From there, it was like, okay, I got to do this. I thought it was going to be one of these songs that was just a snippet where we do part of it. I actually wrote from like the middle to the end, but then had enough that I was like, okay, I got to go back and try this from the beginning. And
yeah, it very easily could have been just a segment of a medley, but I'm so glad that you took the time to come up with the full lyrics. The whole thing ended up being one of my favorites. It sat in the pile for a long time before I got the courage to take it on. Recording it was kind of an evolution of what we did with Pride Rock, where I didn't add any extra instruments, and it was just a single vocal track. I was focusing on getting the lead vocal with that right kind of intensity from the original version that sort of builds along as a song moves through those distinct sections. And then I added a second vocal that sort of hangs out in the background, which doubles a few parts at the beginning and then emerges as the background singers at the end of the song. I hope everybody enjoys it as much as I do.
Well, let's check it out. Let's join Little Red Riding Hood off on the path and go walk into Grandma's with Andrew Mitchell here on Not Your Mother's Goose.
Put on my best red hood and I walk across the plain. Soon I'd be the lunch for a bad old wolf, 'cause I didn't really use my brain. Headed to see Granny, she was feeling bad, you see. Yeah, I got into a thicket since I was dumb as a kid could be. I was walking to Grandma's, I was talking to the wolf I met in a field. Walking to Grandma's, but wasn't worried I'd become a meal. Well, this path to her house, it ain't no avenue. Took a quick break to pick out some flowers, 'cause his furball told me to. Now my grandma, she could not smell him. Guess he wore some good perfume. But there was quite a big surprise, telling me some lies, right in her living room. When I was walking to Grandma's, I was talking to the wolf I met in the field. Walking to Grandma's, but wasn't worried I'd become a meal. I had dinner in my basket, put some flowers by her chair. And Granny, well, she seemed so glad to see me, but she had a lot of hair. I thought, boy, I got a hairy grandma. Now Granny, she still looks furry. She was staring at my old red hood. Then I said her eyes were giant, and she said they saw me good. Then she showed her teeth off, and they gave me quite a fright. I said, tell me, are you my granny now? And she snarled, bam, I am tonight. Walking to Grandma's. I was talking to the wolf I met in a field. Walking to Grandma's. But wasn't worried I'd become a meal. Walking to Grandma's. I was talking to the wolf I met in a field. Walking to Grandma's. But wasn't worried I'd become a meal. Put on my best red hood and I walked across the plain. Soon I'd be the lunch for a bad old wolf, 'cause I didn't really use my brain. Soon I'd be the lunch for a bad old wolf, 'cause I didn't really use my brain.
Because I didn't really use my brain. Little Red Riding Hood struggles walking to Grandma's here on Rapunzel's Jukebox Behind the Music. We'll transition now to kind of a fun one that I just wrote this on a whim. This is the other way around. This is a song we should do. I wonder what I can write to it. And that's Margaritaville. I just thought, here is a classic song. Similar, actually. You mentioned Pride Rock earlier. This was similar for me. To do this song, I needed to find a fairy tale location that would match the rhythms for Wastin' Away in Margaritaville. And that eventually became Out Here in Wonderland, which I realized could easily have been Neverland. This could have been a Peter Pan song too. But that's how we ended up with Alice in Wonderland here. And I just ended up stumbling into one of your favorite songs that you knew how to play on the guitar.
Yep, I am a huge Parrot head, and Margaritaville is one of the first songs I learned to play when I was teaching myself the guitar. Actually played Margaritaville in a short-lived duo called One Trick Pony with our good friend Mark Robertson.
I remember that. Back
in the day. So maybe it's time for the 25-year anniversary world tour. We'll do the whole album in its entirety. Fans are going to want to see that.
Definitely. All right. Well, as we said, Lou and Walter to blame, the Margaritaville version based on Wonderland here on Rapunzel's Jukebox.
Spotted a rabbit, but I couldn't grab it. Shrunk myself down, chased him right through his hole. Ran the whole race thing, heard Tweedledum sing. Sorry oysters, but you're gonna boil. Weirdos are everywhere out here in Wonderland, searching for that rabbit, but he won't halt. Dodo may claim that all he needs is a flame, but I'll go. This won't be my fault. Talk to the flowers, saw Cheshire Cat powers. Tea party time, what a hell of a crew. Guess it's my on-birthday. Whatever that's worth, hey. Hatter and Hare, well, they've had a few. Weirdos are everywhere out here in Wonderland. Met a dormouse, bombed on liquor and malt. Can't even feign this caterpillar is sane. Now I think they're all odd by default. Queen told me, hey, stop. Threatened a head chop. Croquet time, thought I wouldn't get home. Had to find a defender. My gosh, what a bender. Don't let Lewis Carroll put you into his tone. Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. Those two books, they put me under assault. Some people claim the Queen of Hearts was to blame, but you know, it was Lou and Walt. Yes, and some people claim the Queen of Hearts was to blame, but you know, it was Lou and Walt.
Alice in Wonderland gets her own song here on Rapunzel's Jukebox. I'm with Andrew Mitchell, taking you through all the songs that we've done in the last year. You and I have often joked that I should just not be allowed to go on long drives in the car, because every time I do, you get stuck with another song you have to record.
That's
and
right.
This was Labor Day weekend last year. I was driving up north and Friends in Low Places came on. It was another moment of like, well, here's a song we need to do. I pretty quickly had the idea of changing Friends in Low Places to Friends in High Places, but that it would be a song about the prince climbing up to Rapunzel's tower. But if you're going to do Friends in Low Places, you got to do the live version. Working on that was a real challenge. You did some amazing bang up stuff with the background vocals of that bass line, and I think it was well worth it by the time all was said and done.
You know, for someone who spent the last couple of years trapped in a tower, this song really spoke to me. You know, we've had such good times doing the country songs on this show. It just seemed a matter of time before we took on the king himself, Mr. Garth Brooks. It was a bit of an extra process to even create a backing track, you know, with the interlude in the middle, which sounds very spontaneous. But when you really dig into it, you realize just how rehearsed it is. It really fits the meter. And so I had to do the lead vocal in a single take just to even match it with such a complex song, which was kind of like Walking to Grandma's, where I couldn't have doubled up or tripled up vocals. However, unlike Walking to Grandma's, the backing singers in this case are well armed with kazoos, shakers, and a tambourine. So we get a bit more of that party atmosphere at the end of the song.
You have acquired and used now regularly a recorder and an egg shaker to go with your kazoo here. This was the full complement of items, I think.
That's right. And I should add, they're all green.
Is the trombone also green? You know, we haven't heard the trombone in a while.
The original trombone is brass, but I do also have a green plastic trombone.
That is good to know right there. Well, let's check this out before we get too far afield in green instruments, and let's climb up to Rapunzel's tower with Gals in High Places here on Not Your...
You know, I gotta cut in here. You've been listening to this song, talking about me hoisting my wimpy self up a few 100 feet on a hair rope like some ninja warrior. And it doesn't take long to realize this is wrong. And I didn't first notice it. I sang it, and I sang it like some Olympian, till all of a sudden, one day I was in the castle, and it came on the Victrola, and I said, Prince, well, that's what I go by in the castle is Prince. I said, Prince, you got a D+ in middle school gym. You really think you're getting up to that lady's window in one piece? And I said, no, I don't guess I would. So I hope you don't mind, but I had to go back and write a third verse to this song to make it a little more compliant with the laws of physics, if you know what I mean. Check it out. Well, I guess I was wrong. This hair is too long, and damn, this climb is a chore. Every single night, it gives me a fright as I hoist myself up for more. Hey, I took PE, but it ain't for me. The rope climb I just couldn't pass. 'Cause damn it, Rapunzel, you exhausted my arms, and I fell on my ass. 'Cause my gal lives in high places, fell back on the ground, and your boy's face is all smashed today. So I'm done okay. I knew I'd hate those lofty spaces. I'll be staying down, 'cause there's no way this guy's story ends in high places. Yeah, my gal lives in high places, fell back on the ground, and your boy's face is all smashed today. So I'm done okay. I knew I'd hate those lofty spaces. I'll be staying down, 'cause there's no way this guy's story ends in high places.
Gals in High Places, our parody of Friends in Low Places. Andrew Mitchell singing that. We'll jump from that over to our James Taylor Ichabod Crane song. One of my favorites was when you did the acoustic arrangement of Will Villains Ever Win to Blowin' in the Wind. And we hadn't done one like that in a while, so I thought, man, I should write something. And it just seemed to me like almost any James Taylor song would work for that. I fired up James Taylor's greatest hits. Sweet Baby James came on, and I thought, this will work. Ichabod Crane matches Sweet Baby James. You and I also both went to college in the Berkshires. The little switch for Berkshires to Catskills just felt like a little homage to the Williams College days. But I assume that this was kind of a fun change of pace for you, because you did get to play it on the guitar and do it acoustically.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we were overdue for an acoustic song, and this was just a perfect fit. I love the homage to the Berkshires and the Catskills. One thing I really like about James Taylor's original version is Carole King, who plays piano, and her playing really adds a lot of texture to the song. So I was trying to pay tribute to that in the chord voicings that I was using on the guitar. But at the end of the day, I had to do the whole thing live, just on the guitar with no overdubs until the very end. If you're listening carefully, you will hear that the vocal and the guitar does double up at the very last line of the song, and that's because I confessed to making a small mistake on the guitar. I had we're 2/3 of the way into Behind the Music, so
no one's listening anymore. It's fine.
Well, also, Behind the Music Part 3, this is really the part where things start to crash and burn. We thought the good times were never going to end. At the end of the day, I had to resort to some studio trickery just to complete the track on time for Topher, who was incessantly demanding of my time and my music, and it was never good enough, and I always had to redo it. So
yeah, we definitely should be changing managers by the time we're in the third episode, right?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to move on under some new management. I have a concept album I really want to break out. It's a theatrical piece that sort of incorporates elements from mixed media and.
All right. Well, as the train goes further and further off the tracks, listen for the doubled up vocals at the end here on Rapunzel's Jukebox.
There is a man named Crane, a schoolman who's strange. Katrina Van Tassel he wants for a companion. He toils in the schoolhouse and he works out his game plan. Heads for a party, his future to change. And as the moon rises, these stories are fire. Ditches all the women to lend Brom his ear. In front of his eyes, his composure gets dire. And soon every whisper increases his fear. As Brom's thinking, whoa, hold my beer. How's there a headless horseman? Ride away, Ichabod Crane. Got some bad news, but it ain't you she'll choose. Won't you take your horse over the streams and ride away, Ichabod Crane? Now the last of October, the wind it did blow down from the Catskills to the woods he got lost in. Thought the hollow seemed sleepy and his life it might cost him. A horse there behind him, the bridge still too far to go. There's a dude with a pumpkin he's holding up highly. A dude with no head seems familiar, you see. Dude with no head coming after our guy. Maybe Crane can outrun him as his ride tries to flee. A horse that looks like Brahms to me. So look, there's a headless horseman. Ride away, Ichabod Crane. Horse better cruise, or it's your head you'll lose, and you'll haunt us in all of our dreams. So ride away, Ichabod Crane.
James Taylor here on Rapunzel's Jukebox, courtesy of Andrew Mitchell. We switch gears now from the acoustic James Taylor version to the very poppy music of the Archies. This is our second crack at doing something with this song, because I tried to write a Hansel and Gretel parody about this way back at the beginning of the show. Tried it for a long time, couldn't get it. And one thing that I've discovered is with most of these songs, if I can't get it in an hour or two, it's probably just a sign that it doesn't work. That's how we ended up with the Sugar Shack parody about Hansel and Gretel, one of the two songs that Tony D'Amico did back for us in the day. But this one came back to life when I realized that Willy Wonka Wonka would fit very well with the music. And there's not much that is more sugar-esque than that. And this is one that as soon as I sent it to you, you jumped it right to the top of the list to record.
Oh, yeah. This song was a lot of fun to record, especially because we were basing it off of a cartoon band. It's amazing that it's the number one song of 1969, which we think of as the sort of hippie, Woodstock, Aquarian age, but the actual number one song was Sugar Sugar. The whole song is a lot of fun, and I was trying to bring that sort of just sugar-coated fun kind of pop music into the Not Your Mother's Goose version. And part of that was splitting the lead vocal and the background vocals. So if you listen to this one on headphones, you can hear a bit more of how the lead vocals and the background singers kind of interact throughout
Right,
the
if you
song.
get the stereo with both sides.
And also, there had to be kazoos on this song. There was no way. I think the dog might be playing the kazoo. You just can't turn back sometimes.
All right, well, let's not turn back. Let's play it for the folks who have stuck with us this far. It's Willy Wonka to Sugar Sugar here on Rapunzel's Jukebox.
Willy, oh Wonka Wonka, you got a candy world, gonna come and visit you. Wonka, oh Willy Willy, you got a candy world, got a golden ticket too. I just can't believe the people that are here with you. I just can't believe the crew. I just can't believe the brats that you got on this troop. Starting with Augustus glue. Ah, Willy. Oh, Wonka Wonka. You got a candy world, gonna come and visit you. Oh, Wonka. Ah, Willy Willy. You got a candy world, Grandpa Joe is coming too. When I met the girls, Veruca was a pill to me. Veruca wasn't nice, you see. Violet's blowing up, I wonder if she'll pop on me. Don't forget old Mike TV. Oh, Willy, the Oompa Loompas, Wonka. Wonka, Wonka. Sing it with the Oompa Loompas, Willy. Gobstopper's what I really need. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sing it with the Oompa Loompas. Oh, yeah. Sing it with the Oompa Loompas, Wonka. Sing it with the Oompa Loompas, Willy. I'm gonna own this place, you'll see. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sing it with the Oompa Loompas, Wonka. Oh, Willy. Wonka, Wonka. You got a candy world. OSHA can't be loving you. Oh, Wonka. Wonka, Wonka, Willy, Willy, Wonka, Willy. You got a candy world. Wonka, Willy.
The Archies, a non-animated version, turned to Andrew Mitchell for Willy Wonka on Rapunzel's Jukebox on Not Your Mother's Goose. We've got one more former song, or it's actually a medley, and then we haven't really teased this, but we've got new music coming. You've got something brand new for us that we're going to wrap up the show with in a few minutes. But before we get to that, we've got our Tom Petty medley.
Yep. I mean, he's always been one of my favorites. You know, when you sent that Tom Petty medley over to me, I knew we had to do it. But I kept putting it on the back burner in favor of some of the single song parodies that were a little easier to turn over from one week to the other. So when I found out that the podcast was winding down, I knew that the time had come to take this one on. And I'm so glad that we finally got a chance to do it because, what can I say here? I tried to focus on getting a lead vocal that was something similar to Tom Petty's style, but also with a little bit of added enunciation so that the new lyrics are easy to understand.
Sure.
And I think the dating actually is the closest I got to matching the Tom Petty sound. I also thank you for allowing a small vocal or lyrical contribution to that song with The Silence is Nice Until She Has to Fart, which was taking a couple of alternate lyrics that you had come up with for that line.
Yeah, I had kind of a big question mark in the middle and said, do what you want. And you said, hey, wait a minute, what if we took this from here and that from there? And it was a great idea. You mentioned enunciation. And many times you send this stuff to me and it's a few months after I wrote it. And so I'm kind of reliving these songs for the first time again. And in the Paul Bunyan section, there is a line that says, got a big axe. And I heard, got a big ass. Like,
Yep.
Well, I mean, technically that's true. With Paul Bunyan, it's all big. But I did send back that we probably should enunciate that one as clearly as possible.
Absolutely. You got to get the X's. You got to keep the X in the axe there.
Well, here you go, folks. Tune in and listen closely. It is the first song of 4 in this medley. It's our Tom Petty medley, where Paul Bunyan has a big axe here on Rapunzel's Jukebox.
He's a big boy, pity his mama, cuts trees down, and he's totally huge. Has a big axe, dug the Grand Canyon, up Blue Ox, bet it don't go moo. He goes a long way, walking across the country, makes a new lake, tromping through your yard. And well, he undoes Johnny Appleseed, mister, chops them all down. It ain't even hard. Yeah, he's tree falling. Yeah, he's tree falling. Tree falling, yeah, he's tree falling. Geppetto made a wish tonight. The fairy said it'd be alright. She would bring some life to me and add a cricket in for free. But well, I guess here's the point. I've got some working joints, got no strings, I'm unbound. I keep falling on the ground, 'cause I don't know how it feels. I don't know how it feels to be real. Noses come, noses go. When I lie, my nose grows. Then a whale swallowed me, lit a blaze, then he sneezed. Well, I guess here's the point. Still got some working joints. Then I joined a puppet show. Got caged up, she let me go. 'Cause I don't know how it feels. I don't know how it feels to be real. Well, yeah, I might have chased a ginger mermaid around. Oh, 'cause she did not let me drown. Yeah, we tried to chat, it wasn't so good. Our boat had capsized and I'm not sure how. Ariel's the only one who never said wow. And then she grabbed a fork, started plucking her brow. I said, lady, 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 the dating is the hardest part. Conversation leaves me scarred. The silence is nice until she has to fart. The dating is the hardest part. It was a beautiful day. My boat was out. I had the cooler filled up. Going outdoors. Pulled the rope, but she wasn't starting. Stupid Evan Rude. Where are my oars? I'm rowing downstream and doing it merrily. Don't you know my life's a dream? Keeping it out of the weeds, rowing downstream. Woo, 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 woo.
There it is, 4 Tom Petty songs for the price of one, courtesy of Andrew Mitchell here on Not Your Mother's Goose. As we promised, we will not sign off without some new music. So, Andrew, I'm just going to turn this right over to you. What have you brought for us from the tower today?
Well, Topher, we're welcoming Hermits into the Two Timers Club here at Not Your Mother's Goose, Rapunzel's Jukebox. But Hermits is also just a favorite of mine. I love that bright 60s British invasion sound that they have.
And Carole King gets another shout out here as she wrote the music to this song.
Yeah, which also, these are things that we learn as we're going along doing these songs together. Now I have a new appreciation for just the scope of Carole King's work, that she shows up here, twice in this single episode, along with Pinocchio.
Yeah, back-to-back Pinocchios, as he had a segment with Tom Petty. So here it is, Something Good from Herman's Hermits turns into Something Wood about Pinocchio, our brand new song here on Rapunzel's Jukebox.
Woke up one morning, I was alive. To please the fairy, said I'd strive. Last night my dad made a wish, and he made it good. Oh yeah. Only problems, I'm made of something wood. Only problems, I'm made of something. Went to see the world, 'cause I'm not shy. Just gotta lose this darn cricket guy. Did not quite behave like I said I could. Did not behave like I said I could. Not surprising, still made of something wood. Not surprising, still made of something. I only lied maybe one time or two. Well, I was stuck in a cage and my nose came through. I drank beer from a cup. Stromboli said that he would hook me up. That's right, he said that he would hook me up. I shot some pool and I made a friend. The next thing that we know, there's a donkey trend. But that cricket told me to flee, and he got me out good. Pleasure Island, well, he got me out good. Only problems, I'm made of something wood. Only problems, I'm made of something. Only problems, I'm made of something. I went on home, couldn't find my dad. Guess he went out to sea and it ended bad. So I lit a blaze in the whale, burned up all that I could. I lit a fire and it heated up good. Monstro sneezes, we fly up with the wood. Monstro sneezes, we fly up with the. Something tells me I won't be made of wood. Something tells me I won't not be made of wood. Oh no, made of wood. Something tells me I won't not be made of wood. Made of wood, made of wood. Something tells me I won't be made of.
And there you have it, Something Wood, brand new music from Andrew Mitchell on Rapunzel's Jukebox. That brings us to the end of this special, but we are not done with Rapunzel's Jukebox music. Not Your Mother's Goose will live on via YouTube and will live on with new music as we keep going. So please get over to the YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/the @ Not Your Mother's Goose. and subscribe so that you can be notified anytime that Andrew comes out with something new. Plus, we've got our big show finale coming up. And Andrew, we are hoping that you can tackle a huge project. We've got an American Pie parody written that really kind of bookends the show. We started with that 50 Ways to Say Goodbye that became 26 different fairy tale references. We're trying to reference just about everything that's ever found its way onto the show in American Pie. We'll see whether you can pull it off.
American Pie is like that big ugly boxer sitting in the other corner of the ring. And I'm just getting ready to jump in there and take him on.
If you can do this, it will be your crowning achievement. This song has history for you and me, as the two of us and a couple of our friends, including Mark Robertson from your One Trick Pony days, did a parody of this at our college graduation. So it's the perfect way to put a stopper on the end of the actual show if we can make it work.
That's right, Topher.
And we only had to bleep ourselves once at graduation. So that's the way it goes. Thank you so much, Andrew. Any other final words or other previews that you want to give before we sign off?
I just want to say it's been a real pleasure doing the podcast, and great we made it all the way to Behind the Music Part 3. And everybody stay tuned because we got some great songs coming up on YouTube here. Definitely want to keep your browsers tuned to Not Your Mother's Goose, and we'll keep some good songs coming your way.
Very good. Thank you, Andrew, and we will see you soon.
Great. Thanks, Topher.
Thank you, everyone, from both Andrew and me for taking some time to check out the stories behind our songs here on the show. As you can tell, Andrew puts an intense amount of thought and effort into how each song gets put together, and I'm really excited that he's willing to keep going even though the show will be done soon. I hope you'll slide over to our YouTube channel if you haven't already and subscribe. Remember, that's youtube.com/@NotYourMothersGoose. We are really almost there, all the way to Grandma's house. Our finale, show number 50, is coming up April 25th. We'll have some final stories and shows to recap. We'll get a visit from our own version of Dr. Rick from Progressive, and we'll fire up the jukebox one more time and tie it all up in a bow with American Pie. Until then, thanks for listening. For Andrew Mitchell, I'm Topher Goggin, and the Goose is loose. Back one more time soon on Not Your Mother's Goose.